I love the lines on that midsole. Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today, I want to get into a pair of kicks that I'm really excited about. This is an Action Bronson collab with New Balance, and it's a silhouette that I have never owned before. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Action Bronson New Balance FuelCell FOXTROTs. Man, that's a mouthful. I don't even think I got the name of these right in the intro. It is the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V4 FOXTROT. So it is quite a mouthful. I kept going over that in my head before I made that intro, and I knew I wouldn't get it right anyway. But I was able to grab these from the Specializing in Life website. This dropped with another silhouette. I forget the name of it. It's more of a hiking shoe. To me, that one reminds me of a rock climber shoe. I don't know if y'all have seen them before. I love the colors on that other silhouette too, but whenever I saw these two together, I just knew that I wanted this model more because I don't only want to be able to wear them for the function, which is running or training. I also want to be able to wear them casually, just, you know, throw them together with a comfortable outfit for running around and that kind of thing. I did enter on both pairs, and I ended up getting an invoice sent to my email account for both pairs, but since I really wanted this one more, I just went with this. There's so much dropping. At times, I do kind of wish I would have grabbed the other silhouette just to check them out and see what they're all about, but I think I made the right choice. Let me know down in the comments which pair you prefer, but this is the FuelCell Rebel V4, and it's more of a brown colorway. But whenever these showed up from the Specializing in Life website, I opened up the box and I was outside when I did it, and the light hit off of this lid, and it about blinded me. I mean, it shined right back in my face, and it was funny. I commented to some of the guys that I do the podcast with, and they sent a meme of like Charlie finding the golden ticket. And that's basically how I felt. I just felt like, oh man, this is incredible. This is really special. I wasn't expecting it at all, but I love the lid of this. Of course, it says BAKLAVA there across the top, but it's just that real shiny gold. I would advise you, if you're opening a pair of these outside, have your sunglasses on, because man, they will shine the light right in your eyeballs. The bottom is just a cardboard box, and on the one side it says BAKLAVA New Balance. The tag reads Action Bronson New Balance FuelCell, then it just says RE, but I'm assuming that that stands for Rebel. It says that it's a lifestyle shoe, and the colors are listed as brown and gray. I went with my true to size, a size 10 in this pair, and actually, because this is a silhouette that I've never owned before, I'll probably go ahead and throw them on at the end of this video just to talk about sizing, and we can see how they look and that sort of thing. I forget how much they were. I think they were around 180, but I would have to look to confirm that. And here they are.
I really like these.
I know that they look like a running shoe, and they don't look like the standard kind of retro runner dad shoe that is in right now, but that's part of what I like about Action Bronson, is just that he's doing something different. I really like this orange and brown colorway on this upper, and then on the outsole you get some little subtle hits of color, but that blue really shows from the side, and then you have the neon green little accent there on the upper as well, and that tag says BAKLAVA. But I think these things are really cool. Another thing that really surprised me, along with that real shiny lid, when I pulled the box out of the box that it was shipped in, I literally thought that the box was empty. These shoes are that light. And something that they remind me of, and just something that came to mind whenever I grabbed these and picked them up, my daughter runs cross country. Actually, they just finished in second place in the West Virginia State Championship. So shout out to my daughter's cross country team. They did awesome.
Yeah!
I'm real proud of her. She did awesome, so shout out to my oldest. My mind goes everywhere, but back to my point, whenever I pick these up, they reminded me of a pair of her running shoes, and I forget what silhouette she runs in, but it's a real popular Nike. It's what just about all runners use. I'm gonna have to look it up and I'm gonna have to put it across the screen. But anyway, whenever I felt these, they just feel light as a feather. This upper doesn't have much to it. You can see through that mesh on the upper, so it's going to be very breathable. Whenever I went for these, my immediate thought was just, if I get these, this is going to be a dope gym shoe. I just thought from the jump that this would be a shoe that I would wear to the gym, and maybe people would realize what it is, maybe they wouldn't. But sometimes I like heat that is a little bit more low-key and flies a little bit under the radar, but they just feel really cool. They feel very advanced whenever you have them in hand, and this midsole is very chunky. It's a lot different than everything that I've seen, but it's nothing but foam. And then when you look at the outsole, it's just got all these little pods of traction underneath, and you can see different areas under the forefoot in a gray and then a black color. But then underneath of the heel, it's got these two traction areas that's in a nice blue color. And I think that's pretty cool. I think it's neat because that probably helps cut down on the weight, just the fact that it's all this really light, squishy foam, aside from these little areas of tread. I think it's a really neat design. I really can't wait to see how they feel under feet. The right shoe did come with this hang tag that says BAKLAVA New Balance on it. So before I take that off, just wanted to show it. And then as we come to the midsole, another thing I really like about these is just how the midsole has all these straight lines in it. I think that it reminds me of like a Cybertruck or something. I'm not a huge Cybertruck fan or anything like that, but that's just what this reminds me of. I think it looks very futuristic, very modern, and I'm excited to have these in the collection because even just that midsole, it's different than everything else that I already have in the collection. Then as we get to the upper, I told some of the guys on the podcast the other night that these reminded me of pantyhose. That's just because of this brownish tan kind of skin tone color that we have for the upper, but you can see light pass through it. It's a very thin mesh. I think again that'll help it to be lightweight. Underneath of the toe, it does have a little material added, I think for structure and maybe just to protect your toes a little bit, but really this whole upper is nothing but really breathable mesh. And I do like the color, even though it reminds me of pantyhose. I like the color, and I love this oversized N. I don't know if all of these Rebel V4s have the N oversized like that, but I think that's a really cool touch. And I like this orange peachish color that we have for that New Balance N on the side as well. On the inside of the shoe, it's a smaller N, but it's that same color orange. It says Phantom Fit here at the base of the laces. I have no idea what that is. I can't pretend to know what the tech is in these things. And then going up the eye stays or the eyelets, it's got this little overlay. I'd imagine that's just to keep those eyelet holes from ripping or kind of tearing apart. On the back of the heel at the base, it's a darker brown color, and we also have some New Balance Rebel branding. I like these little pops of color that we have at the top of the eyelets. It's kind of like a pink or like a salmon color there at the top. And then I really like this bright green tag that says BAKLAVA on it. The tongue is a very thin material. It doesn't seem like there's much to it. And this pair came with flat gray laces already in the shoe. It didn't come with any extras. I do think that they should have thrown an extra set of laces in here. I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff. I also think it makes the shoe feel like more of a collab if you get little extras like that, but no big deal. The sock liner is a light tan color, and our insole is black, and it says BAKLAVA as well as New Balance in neon green. I'm really impressed by the way these look and feel in hand, but since I've never had this silhouette before, I want to throw them on feet so you all can see what they look like, and we'll talk about the fit. Hopefully going true to size was the right call. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got them on feet, and they definitely feel different than any other shoe that I have had on foot before. They're very snug. I went true to size. I have wide feet. They are very snug on my feet. Because they're see-through, you can see right where your toes end, and I've got a little bit of a gap at my toes, but as far as the width goes, they are as snug as could be. That's not a bad thing because it really just makes them feel like an extension of your foot. It feels like it's a part of you, if that makes sense. Another thing that feels different about these is just that they're tall. I think when you look at these from the side, you can see how chunky that midsole is. And I also feel like when I put these on,
I might be 5'10" and a half.
They do feel very comfortable under feet. It does seem like a pair that you'd be able to exercise in for a long time, run for a long time, or just be on your feet for a long time, and you would be comfortable wearing these. Another thing that I'm noticing right now, it's cold and the wind is blowing, and I can feel the wind blowing right through these. So I would say it's definitely a good exercise shoe if you're going to be inside, or it's a good running shoe for outside if the weather is warm and that kind of thing. I wouldn't wear these if it's raining out. I wouldn't wear these if there's slush on the ground or anything like that, because I'd imagine your feet would get pretty wet. But I like the style. I like that it's something new, and they definitely feel like they give you really good cushion as well as an extra ½ inch or so of height. And even though they do feel like they give you extra height, they don't feel unstable. Like, I've had shoes before that feel like they give you height, and it almost feels like you're walking on stilts, like going from one side to another. But I do think they designed these well, because I'm not feeling like unsteady or anything like that. I love the lines on that midsole. I really appreciate Action Bronson doing a collab on this silhouette as well as that trail silhouette that he did, because if I'm being honest, I would have never had any attention on this silhouette if it didn't have his name and his twist on it. There's a little top-down POV. Not sure if it's coming through on camera or not, but my toes end right about here, so I don't have a whole lot of extra space at the end. But as far as the width goes, they're very, very snug, but I do have just about a finger's worth of length at the toe of these shoes. I don't know if these are going to be dropping on the New Balance website. I would imagine that they would, but I'm definitely glad that I secured my pair now. I like that it's different. I like that it's not like everything else that I have in my collection, and I'm definitely here for everything that Action Bronson has been doing with New Balance. Alright, well, hopefully that was enough to give you a good look at these Action Bronson New Balance Rebel V4s. I think it's a cool pair. It's unlike anything else that I have in my collection, and they are really, really comfortable. Let me know what you all think about these, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.